Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Jimmy here again. So, whenever we that's all, folks. Whenever we last left off on the Honda Civic 2008 model, we just finished both the fenders, and I'm thinking today we're going to go ahead and start working on the headlight because why not? Come on, it's a headlight. How difficult can it possibly be? Next thing you know, it's trying to invade Russia. So, we're going to do this very similarly on how we did the other thing. The fenders. That's what it is. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to just undo these. So the first thing we need to do, we need to rotate in the Z 90 degrees. I don't know why I rotate it in the X. I really don't. That's just me sometimes. I make stupid decisions, and then I'm like, why would I do that? My wife might be able to have an explanation, but I can tell you this much, I don't. So, anyways, let's just continue on with this. So all I'm doing is just line up the 4 points, 2 of the points right here, 2 of the points right here. I'm going to grab these 2 points up front. I'm going to go to the front view, and I'm going to just move them over like this. I will deselect the bottom one. I'm going to move the top one over, about right there. I'm going to do the same thing with these 2. Looks like we've got a little bit of clipping, but no big deal. We'll just hide that for now. Now I'm trying to keep these points above the black right here, and the reason why is because by doing so, it'll actually be a little bit easier to manipulate the vertices. And I mean, not manipulate. I don't know why I just even said that. So the reason why I'm trying to keep this above the black is because whenever I create the bumper, we'll have that gap down there. And I'm really looking for to have that gap. Yeah, I'm extremely sleep deprived today. So if y'all like sleep deprived Jimmy, then you're probably going to really enjoy this video. I have no idea why, but I always wanted to be an adult when I grew up, and now that I've grown up and I'm an adult, I realized 2 things. One, it's scary that people even consider me to be an adult. And 2, being an adult is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Just throwing that out there. So anyways, what we'll do is we'll grab these 4 since we haven't actually manipulated them yet. And we're going to go, if I can select the right view. So we're just going to move these probably right about here. So I don't know why I keep doing this. I'm just going to do it like this because this is driving me crazy. There we go. Let's go and take a look at this in the front view. Okay, so yeah, that looks great. That's like perfect. Not. We go into object mode. I'm going to hold down Control-Shift-D. See, why does that even happen? I'm going to hold down Control-G, Control-Shift-D. Then I'm just going to grab this one over here. I'm just going to delete that sucker. And then right here on this one, I'm actually going to go into, what is that called? Mesh display. And I need a reverse. And so now we have the shape that we're kind of looking for. I say this now, but y'all are probably like, what the hell is that? No, it's the beginning stages of our headlight. So anyways, is what we need to do. This is actually going to be the back part of the headlight. This is where the light filaments sit. So you'll have like one here, and then you'll have your signal lamps. So that's what this is. As what we need to do is we actually need to move these back because, why not? And when I move these back, I'm trying to keep them all uniform. So I don't know why I just moved those back by themselves, but I shouldn't have. Bad Jimmy. I know. So we'll just start moving these into place. I'm actually trying to get all these fairly far back. I'm thinking something kind of like that. So, what just happened? I have no idea. Okay. I don't know what that was all about, but it did something. I just don't know what. I actually want to scale these flat. And I want to keep some curves on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this one down. And I'm going to move this one in. I want to move this, probably. See, this is the difficult part, is trying to figure out where you actually want these. It's like rearranging furniture. Sometimes you think the sofa looks good over there, and then the wife tells you, no, it needs to go over there. And you just have to put up with it. So that's where we're at right now. between moving a sofa and baking a biscuit. Alright, so anyways, I'm just moving these. Let's see, I'm probably going to want to actually move this one right about here. This way it lines up with that edge right there. And this one, I don't even know where the hell it's at, to be honest with you. Somewhere around here. Somewhere in the abyss. Alright, so that doesn't look too bad. So then we want to move this one. Just move that one probably right about there. And I want to move this inwards. So right about there. One thing that might make it easier, if you press 1 on the keyboard, you can actually follow the contours of this. In fact, I'm actually thinking about just doing it this way, because if I take this vertex and I press V on the keyboard, I can actually snap it right there. I can do the same thing with this one. I'm going to wireframe. Okay, so here's the only downside is that looks great, but the problem is I don't have anything to snap to here. It's the only downside. So I'm just going to move this about where I think it should be. We're actually going to run into the same problem with all of these up top, so prepare for that. So we'll deal with those here in just a second. For now, I'm going to continue working on the bottom right here. Let's see. Actually, I'm probably going to want that one down here. No! Right there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to have to actually add another edge right there. Now, I could create edges up here. That would be the ideal thing to do, but, you know, I like to live life on the edge. And so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to continue living life on the edge. And I'll show you how we do this. All I'm going to do is just match these vertices up with this edge right here. And by doing so, I'm going to press V right here. This way I can snap to one of these. Yeah, I was worried about that. I kind of figured it'd snap all the way over there. I'm really not all that surprised. I'm like, come on, it's Maya. It's going to, like, be really good until you need the exact point of what you're looking at. Then it's like, haha, I fooled you. I'm just average and mediocre. Alright, so that's all I'm doing right here. I'm just moving these in about like this. And I kind of want this edge to disappear a little bit. You just don't want to go real crazy with it. Because if you go real crazy with it, then you're going to run into some interesting issues. That's like the best way I can put it. So I'm going to click on this vertex right here. First I'm going to go to my move tool. I'm just going to snap it right there. So the next thing we need to do is we actually need to make this where it curves out. This one doesn't matter too much. This one does. So we'll make it curve out like that. Now, because I'm already working with this edge, is what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into face, and we're actually going to extrude it. Let's just scale it in just a little bit, and then we'll, oops, wrong way. So we're just going to pull it out just a little bit. So now when we hit 3, it looks like a pretty smooth shape. We'll have to work with it a little bit more in just a minute. Or we could just pull it forward like that and then move it over. I think that will work. Yeah, it should work. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to click on Edge. I'm actually trying to make sure that the whole edge is selected. We're just going to barely move it. As you can see, I'm like it barely even did anything, because this is going to have to be a really tight profile. Oops, wrong way. So I'm just going to move that in like that. I'm actually going to move it back. See, why does it even do this? Like, seriously, Maya? Come on. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, mesh display, reverse. There we go. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to click on this and press 3 and see what we get real quick. What is this crap? Do y'all see what I have to deal with Maya? I mean, really? Like, seriously, Maya, why would you do this to me? That's not what I wanted either. Add that edge up there. I'm going to add this edge down here. I'm probably going to add... Screw it. I'm happy with it. No, I'm not. That just looks like absolute dog crap. So it does not have those profiles like that. So, yeah, this is what you have to deal with Maya sometimes. Crap like this. So, yeah, I'd say my day is going about as good as bathing in Tabasco sauce right about now. Somewhere in those lines. So I'm just going to click on the fender. I'm going to add this as a new layer. And this way I can come in here and start really working on this. Why, Maya? Why? Why do we have these faces right here that are obviously facing the wrong way? Mesh display, reverse. There we go. So now all these should be on the inside. And they are. Alright. Awesome opossum. So is what I'm going to do now. I'm actually going to go here to the cut tool. Because, you know, Maya's being like me, difficult. So I'm just going to move this right about here, I'm thinking. Yeah, I've always liked how, you know, that program just comes up and be like, hey, if you act now, you can save, or no, not save, but, you know, new versions available. Like, I don't really care. If I wanted a new version, I would have downloaded a new version. I mean, to me, it's a lot like the Windows updates. You know, it's like, whether you want it or not, this is what you're getting. It's like, no. No. It's like the Purge, you know? It's like, leave me alone. Okay, let's go and see what that looks like. There we go. Oi. Alright, so that actually doesn't look half bad. I need to work with the front up here, because the front still looks like just absolute dog crap. But that's actually pretty easy to fix. Basically, I'm just going to go in here, if I can even... There we go. And I'm just going to finish that edge right there. I'm going to do the same thing right down here. And I know I haven't done anything in the middle, and the reason for that is because there really are no type profiles in the middle, so I'm not really too concerned about those. I'm more concerned about the rest of the shape. So if we go into object mode, as you can see now we have that headlight shape. And we'll continue working with this shape as well. It's like this crap right here, how this was popping out. Basically, I'm just going to go into this. Just going to move that in like that, so hopefully that helped a little bit. I really need to bring these out just a little bit. And of course, it's doing this crap again. The Russia crap. I don't know what that means, but you know, it just sounds good to say. It seems like last time it was like just randomly doing it. I think it was just doing it to mainly piss me off. I doubt that's the case, but you know, it sounds good. It sounds like really good. Hey, let's just piss Jimmie off. He's in the middle of doing the tutorial video. This way people can see how much of an idiot he is. By golly, that sounds like a plan. Yeah, I know I'm like the weirdest teacher. I like go off on these little rants and raves, and y'all are probably like, what the hell is this dude talking about? And honestly, the truth is, nobody knows. My coworkers don't even know about half the stuff I talk about. It's really amazing that they even put up with me. It honestly is. Really, you're going to do that to me, Maya? Okay. There we go. So I'm just going to grab this edge. You got to be kidding me. I don't know why it does this to me. I really don't. Anyways, I'm just going to grab this edge. I'm pulling it back. So now when I press 3, we have this nice uniform light shape. And when we press 3 on this, we can see that it matches up rather nicely. Yeah, we got a little bit of an issue right here, but you know, that's actually fairly easily fixable. The reason why we have this issue right here is because of this down here. To fix that, let me turn this off. So to fix that, all I'm going to do is just start adding some of these extra edges in here. So I'll add one right here. I'm going to split this off right there. I'll come in here, I'll add one more. I'm adding this on both sides for a reason, but I need to keep the profile tight. Oh, come on. There we go. So now when we preview this, as you can see, that now matches up a lot closer. We still have a little bit of an issue right here, but we'll work on that a little later on. Right now I'm just more concerned about getting the general shape of this. So I'm going to go into the wireframe. Let's see what we got. Okay, so the reason why we have this shape here, because we have this extra edge right here. That's really the only reason. If we had an extra edge right here, it'd all match up. So, let me see how I want to do this. Because if I come in here, let me look at it from the front view. That might help out significantly. Turn off wireframe. And we're looking at it from the back. So that figures. Okay, so we have this vertex right here. This one actually needs to move in just a little bit. Let me go into the top view. That might actually be easier. So all I'm trying to do is just make sure that these follow smoothly. This one right here actually needs to be moved right about here. It's been moved in. So now when you go to the side view, right here, we just need to move this down. This one actually needs to be moved in just a hair. Then it needs to be moved up right about there. And then in here, that actually looks fine. So it's just little tweaks like that that you got to look for. Sorry I'm not as talkative as what I normally am. Like I said, I'm like highly sleep deprived. Like, yeah, just last night sucked. Well, not last night, but yesterday morning, because that's usually the time I go to bed when I'm on the shift. So anyways, yeah, we'll deal with that here in just a minute. So now is what we need to do is we actually need to start deselecting these faces. See, I don't even know why I said deselecting. We're not deselecting, we are selecting. So anyways, the purpose of this is we're actually going to separate this from the other layer. So all we're going to do is just click on that. Okay, why does it say that? Okay, so we have all these selected. We need to separate. I don't know, I must have clicked on the wrong button or something. Yeah, I have no idea. Alright, so the next thing we need to do, we actually need to start connecting all these pieces back here. We basically need to fill this hole. We could just click on edge and do that and then click fill hole, but the only problem with doing that is we just have one hole. That's obviously not right. Go into object mode. I'm going to create a new layer for this. Yes, that's what I was afraid of. You might not be able to see it. I don't know. I'm going to go into face. I'm just going to delete this face right here. So is what happened. Maya, in its infinite wisdom, okay, let me just create a new layer for that one as well. That one shouldn't even be there. Separate. There we go. So now we have face. We need to select all of this. We're going to separate those. object mode. We actually need to add that in there. And then layer 2, we need to select that. I'm actually going to do it this way. So now I should have everything right there selected. I'm going to go ahead and combine them. But we're going to have some weird issues. Yes, like this right here. The reason why we have this, because earlier, whenever I separated this, it didn't separate out properly. So if I hide, of course I won't do that now. So we're just going to select this right here. Anytime it says 2 vertices and you know you should only have one, we're just going to start combining them together. Okay, so that's one, that's one. Alright, so that should be good. Should be. Do that there. Do that there. Do that there. Okay, that should be good. And we'll combine that one. There we go. Okay, so now, do this. Still have an issue up here. That one looks good, and this back here looks good. So we need to find out where this vertex is that is right here. So let's take a look. There we go. Let's go ahead and save it, just be on the safe side. Seem to have bad luck with these sometimes. So now we can go ahead and hide that one. Let's go ahead and add that object. We can hide that one. That one doesn't matter. Nobody likes that one. Yes, it is crap like this that just drives me up the wall. And see, basically is what's going on is this is actually going to be part of the Chrome layer. So we definitely need to make sure that that is viewable, visible, viewable, whatever. Let's go into Mesh Display, and we're just going to go to Reverse. There we go. Hopefully nothing else is screwed up. Let's say that now. Hopefully it's not. And we can actually, we're actually going to go to Edge. There's a few ways we can do this. I've already shown you one way with the fill hole. Then you can just go in here with a cut face. That is totally one option. So basically you just click on this where you select all the lines and you just click on this, come up here, and you just start connecting the dots more or less. This is it's definitely a way you can do it. There is not a problem with that. It just helps make sure you have the actual tool selected. And I don't know why I keep pressing G. Habit. So right here we're going to run into an interesting issue. And to fix that issue, this is all we're going to do. Like this. Because this one will actually connect up here. And this one will connect right here. And that's how we do it. Simple. Boy. Okay, so for this one right here, we're actually going to connect it right here. And what is going on here? Okay, there it is. Connect that one. We'll just close it off right there. Doesn't even matter. Click right here, close that off there, and we will click right there and close that one off here. So now we should have this shininess. Shiny. Okay, so it looks like we have a few vertices that aren't quite connecting. Up here is one of them. So we'll have to go in there and take a look and see what's going on. Honestly, as of right now, I have no idea why they're not. But this is all part of it. It's just trying to find out what's doing what. So we got one there. We got one there. That's one. That's one. Honestly, I don't think the problem is there. I think it's somewhere else. Something really simple that I'm missing. Not the first time. Yeah, I honestly have no idea. It's okay. It doesn't matter. The reason why it doesn't matter because this is mostly going to be hidden anyway. So, wait, I see one of the problems. Let's go ahead and click on this tool again. If I can even... There we go. So this is going to be one issue. Yeah, that one's fine. Now what is this even? That's the piece that... Okay, I know what that is. I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, so we got that now. And you can always come in here. You can go ahead and add another shader to it. Let's go ahead and go up to Edit, Delete by Type History. We'll go into Lambert 2. We're just going to crank the transparency up a little bit. This way you can kind of like see through it and get an idea on what you're going to be looking at. So let's go ahead and click on both of these. We're going to hit Control-G, Control-Shift-D, and that should duplicate that across. So let's go ahead and save it. The next thing we want to do is blow up the car. Sure, why not? So, yeah. Sleep-deprived Jimmie, yay! So I'm thinking those actually line up, fairly well. So what I want to do now is probably go ahead and make the hood. And this way, after we make the hood, we'll have the lights and the hood kind of help with the grille. So I'm thinking that'll probably be the next step we take. I just remember we don't have a top view of this car. Yay, life. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into poly modeling. We're just going to go and create another plane right up here. I'm just going to set this right here in the middle where this little hump is at. Why did I do that? So this is where the reference images come to play. So actually that hump is smooth all the way across. It doesn't even have a hump. The hump is non-existent. So we're just going to connect it from the fenders and go straight across. And we will smooth it out later on. So to do that, easy way of doing that, I'm just going to move this over like this. Easy. The only thing I want to make sure of is that I don't move it too far back. So I'm thinking something like this, right about here, should be good. We'll take this and we'll just move that here. Move this down just a little bit more. There we go. Beautiful. Can't even tell. Alright, so I'm just going to move this about right here. And as you notice, I'm actually leaving a gap. It's probably a little bit too much of a gap. Probably something kind of like that. And so whenever I move this in, then I just need to try and keep this line, this gap right here, even all the way down. So I'm going to go into Edge, and I'm going to Extrude. And I'm going to want to do this from the top view. And I'll go and turn on whatever that view's called. I'm so tired, I can't even think of what it's called. But basically, I'm just matching these up to all these edges, wherever they meet up. So, like right here, we actually have an edge right there that we need to line that up with, and we'll press G again. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing. So, I'm matching all those up right there. I'm going to go into Vertex. I'm actually going to give myself a little bit more room, and I'm going to start moving some of these over. Something kind of like that, I'm thinking. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it looks in the end result. Then y'all can judge. So I'm just going to move that there. I'm just going to move that one there. I'm going to go into Edge. I'm going to press G on the keyboard so this way I can extrude it again. And I'm just going to move that one here. Now, you might think that that looks great, but when you go into the side view, you're going to see that that really don't look so great. See? So all you got to do is just move this down. Probably help if I go and grab the whole hood. So this way I can just move it all down at once. And I'll straighten it up later on. And I'll give it the curves it needs. For now, I'm just more concerned about trying to line everything up. That's really it. So, there we go. So now, we have this smooth hood. We're going to have a gap right here. I already know we are. We're going to have to work with that here in the very near future. And see, we have an extra wide gap right here. So all I'm going to do is just move that over just a little bit. So this way the gap is even all the way down. As long as it's even, I'm happy. That's the main thing. Yeah, to make sure I'm happy. So then I'm going to go back into the side view, and if you notice, I didn't grab the front one. There is a reason for that. I'm just going to move this up just a little bit, something kind of like this. And this is where I'm going to start making all these match the curves. So I'm going to make these match kind of like that. Now I'll grab this front one. Front one's going to be kind of weird because I actually want to pull it forward, but at the same time I want it to match this. So that's going to be a little awkward, but we'll see what it looks like here in just a minute. So something like that I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking something kind of like that. That should be fine. So then is what we'll do is we'll go into object mode. Let's go ahead and just duplicate this across, and we will combine them. And then we'll do my favorite technique with the bridge. Let's just bridge these across. Now I know it doesn't have quite the curvature like you'd expect it to, but we will be working with that. So now we have this front face, and we're just going to extrude this down, something kind of like this. And then this right here, we're going to match right about here. Because this is actually going to be part of the bumper that comes up, so that's okay. Alright, so what we can do now is we can go ahead and add an edge right here, and we'll add one more right here. Let's go into face. We'll go ahead and get rid of these. So what we want to do is now we want to try and make everything uniform. So we'll click on these edges. We're going to pull these down just a little bit. Something kind of like that. And then we'll leave that one there. Let's go ahead and look up here real quick. Yeah, see, we got this crap right here. That's just, it's going to bug us. I already know it is. Not too bad. But I still want to move it down. Thinking right about there. This way all this kind of matches up. Something like that. As long as all this is matching up, that's good. See, now when we press 3 and smooth it out, now we have our cord hood. Let's go ahead and press 3 on the fender too so we can get an idea of what that's going to look like. It actually doesn't look half bad. So, yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and we're going to duplicate this over. And don't worry, we're actually done with it this time. So, like, whatever we're going to do next for the modeling is actually going to be applied to both sides. So you won't have to go through this crap again. But we are going to select the whole edge all the way around it. We're going to hit extrude. Pull down just a little bit, not too much. We're going to press G on the keyboard. We're going to go down with it, and we're going to scale it in just a little bit. So now when you smooth it out, you'll have this shape. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And let's go ahead and look in the picture real quick. Yeah, it has a tight curve, and that hood actually comes forward in the image. Does it move? Does it come forward? I can't tell. Looks like it does. I don't know. I don't own one of these. Mine's 99, so I have no earthly idea. We're going to assume that it does. And so assuming this means we need to take these, we need to pull these forward just a little bit, and we'll take these right here and we'll pull these forward. I'm actually going to pull them forward right about there. Then I'm just going to shift select and do that. So now the next thing we'll need to do is these will have a tight curve, so we're going to go ahead and create an edge loop right here. When we press 3, we'll now have this shape. As you can see, that's looking pretty good. So the next thing we want to do, I keep saying that, I don't know why. What is the next thing? I think that's actually pretty much it. Next thing we're going to be doing is working on the grill, so I think we're actually going to be good right about there. So I'm going to go ahead and save this scene. Let's go and just knock the grill out real quick. Why not? So let's just go into the front view. Go ahead and create a... There we go. So it's going to be -90. I know you should be able to see it, but the reason why you can't, because we're actually looking at this through the rear view. That's why you can't really see the fenders or anything. You just have these weird shapes. So as you can see, from once I move it forward, we can see it. So that's why I did it that way. That's really the only reason why I did it that way. So I don't know how this actually curves out. Once again, we're going to need to look at a reference image. So actually, it looks like it's mainly just a gaping hole. We have a little bit of something in here, but for the most part, it's just a gaping hole. A few ways we can do this, actually. I think I'm going to go with this style right here. I think that's going to be a lot better. You know, something kind of like this. I kind of like the Acura look. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Okay, so that's one other thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to scale this down. Rotate it back. I'm just going to move it back like this. And we go in here real quick. So this actually has to line up with the hood. That's the hard part. It doesn't quite line up. Go in the front view. So right here, we need to have a gap. So it's going to be something kind of like this. There we go. And let's go ahead and just create an edge loop right here. Then we can click on face and delete that sucker. Let's go ahead and extrude. Actually, when we extrude, let's go ahead and just click on vertex. We're going to move this vertex up. Let's go back to edge, press G. We're going to extrude this one out, probably right about here. We're going to do the same thing with this vertex. We're just going to move it up. Edge, G. Then edge, G. So now is what we want to do. Because the hood is flat, we will have to give it some curvature here in just a second. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this to match up with this now. So let's go ahead and give the hood some curves. Let's just bring it forward. So we're just going to do this right here, and then we're just going to do this. So that's kind of what we'd expect of a Honda to look like. So we're just going to move these out. Move them out right about there. I'm going to come back in here and manipulate these here in just a second. But basically, this is the shape I'm looking for. You know, something kind of like this. So. Zoom in on that, or frame in on that, I mean. And I'm going to need wireframe. This is where it gets difficult because we have no reference points to connect it to. So, yay. Pull that one in there, and I want to pull this one in right here. Oh, come on. I'm just going to move this over where it's right about here. That's pretty flat. Alright, let's go ahead and go back in here. We're going to go to edge. Now we get to do not that edge. Yeah, I don't think this is going to matter. So let's go ahead and just extrude this. Let me go back to the manipulator tool. I want to move this back just a little bit. We're going to press G. I'm just going to move it down. I'm actually going to deselect this edge over here. I'm going to press G one more time. I'm just going to move it straight back. So something like that. Right here, we'll deal with that here in just a minute. I keep saying that, and I never get back to it. But I promise you I will. I say that now. But then I'm going to make a fool of myself. Just wait and watch. Anyways, we're just going to select these right here, deselect those. So this way we have this entire inner edge selected. We're just going to bridge them. And this way when we press 3, we now have the shape that we're looking for. So Let's go ahead and take the hood. Let's add a new layer for the hood, and I'm just going to deselect all of these, so this way, this is all I'm looking at. So what do we want to do? Just go into vertex real quick, frame in on those. Then I'm going to click on this. We're going to select here and here, press enter. Then we'll select here and here, press enter. And there we go. We're going to do the same thing over here. So here and here, then here and here. There we go. So now we can go ahead and let's go ahead and save it. Yeah, you can tell I'm actually fairly religious about saving. That's just because a while back my computer had some issues, so I got really good at saving without even thinking about it. But I think I'm going to go and call it quits for the video today. We'll probably start working on the front bumper in the next video. I'm actually trying to keep these tutorials shorter than I have been. And this one will probably actually be like a 16 to 18 part tutorial lesson. But I'm going to try and do individual components at a time. So this way, if you're somewhat familiar, you can follow at individual pace, component pace, and you'll know which components I'm doing. So this is going to do it for this tutorial. If you like the video, like it, subscribe it, comment if you hated it, dislike it, don't subscribe, comment how much you hated it. If you like the video but you hate me, let me know. That'd be awesome. So yeah, anyways, I shall see y'all later.